guys, and welcome back to my channel. First of all, happy NAIDOC week! Because it is NAIDOC week, I will be releasing a couple of videos this week because it is fun and why not, and there's no week like now. So let's jump straight in. NAIDOC week is a week-long celebration of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture here in Australia. So it's a week where we gather, where there's heaps of events. We have a special NAIDOC awards, we have competitions, we have concerts. It's this big, huge celebration of everything that it is to be us. So what on earth does it stand for? This is possibly the question that people get wrong the most. So people always assume that it is for National Aboriginal and Islander Day of Celebration. That is completely wrong. Also, it's not a day, it's a week. NAIDOC actually stands for the National Aboriginal and Islander Day of Observance Committee. So pretty much, NAIDOC actually is the acronym for the committee who is in charge of organising NAIDOC. But over time, we just kind of used it to name the event itself. So let's jump into some quick history for you. If we rewind back, it somewhat started in around about 1938. So in 1938, on Australia Day, there was a large protest that took place. This was known as the Day of Mourning. So this was a very big gathering of our people to talk about the significance of Australia Day and how horrible it actually was for our people, which is why we titled it the Day of Mourning. Not a day of celebration, a day of mourning. After this happened, after this big gathering, after this big protest, after this big conversation around our people and what we need, people felt that this should actually be an annual event. So they decided to plan more days of mourning annually. So from 1940 to 1955, there were annual Mourning Day events held. So this happened the weekend before Australia Day. It was retitled Aborigines Day. Not a term you should use these days, but that's what it was called. But in 1955, there was a decision made that instead of having it the weekend before Australia Day, it should be held in July. So rather than have it be a time of protest, it should be a time of celebration. So after that time, it became held in July every year. It was a huge week-long celebration. It changed from being a day to being a week. And it's kind of been that way ever since, bar this year. As you may notice, we're in November. Why is this and it is not in July? Well, clearly it's because of COVID. We weren't actually able to have NAIDOC celebrations in July because gatherings weren't allowed at that time. So we moved it up to November. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like super weird to be having NAIDOC chat at the end of the year. It's super strange to me. But regardless, happy NAIDOC everybody. Now that we've covered a little bit of history, I wanted to talk about a couple of the things that we love about NAIDOC. So NAIDOC week is always a time that our community gathers. It's always a bringing together of people. It's like a big family reunion for like extended family. It's also a time of dance and food and music and conversation. So it really is a time of pride and a time to celebrate, and we love that about it. It's a time where we get to be like, I mean, every day I suppose is NAIDOC for us, but it's a time where we plan big events, where there's a big event that we get to go to almost on every bloody corner. So for us, it really is about bringing our community together. It's a time where we get to celebrate together. That being said, I also wanted to talk about a couple of things that we don't like about NAIDOC. So it wouldn't be my channel without chucking in a little bit of a conversation somewhere. So here's some things that we don't like about NAIDOC, or at least I don't like about NAIDOC. But to be fair, I feel like all of us kind of feel this way. First of all, it is a time where I feel like everyone just throws out a token gesture of some sort to be like, oh, it's NAIDOC week. Look, what I love the black people. And it's a lot of like that mentality, which I don't enjoy. I love real connection. Come in, join an event, hang out. But don't do this thing where you're like, I'm going to post up a Facebook post about happy NAIDOC, but I am not going to attend an event. I don't know any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people, nor have spoken to them. I'm not making any effort to learn about their history or their politics. But I am going to prove to all of my woke friends that I am also woke. Not about that. I would rather you don't post if you have no intention of connecting with our community. And just as much as individuals do this, companies do this. Companies, I feel like, use NAIDOC Week and National Reconciliation Week to promote the fact that they know or are aware of this community existing. So I care less about the post you make on NAIDOC Week, the post you make in National Reconciliation Week. I care more about what your company is doing for our communities across the board. So I'm absolutely here for companies posting like, here's what we've done with our communities over this year. Here's the invested work we're doing. Also, happy NAIDOC to all of our community out there. Love, love, love that. That's great. What I don't like is when companies, again, post some form of token, happy NAIDOC. It's great to invest in our Indigenous peoples, and then have zero follow through for any of their company. They don't have any programs, they don't have any support, they don't have any employees, they don't have any board members that are Indigenous. That's just a lie, mate. You're not actually invested in our community if you don't have any ongoing investment in our community. And also, the other thing that I know I'm usually open for, and that's what this entire channel is about, but not everyone is that usually it only happens in these 2 weeks a year. It's NAIDOC Week and it's National Reconciliation Week, that people come to us and expect us to be their teacher and their historian. Can you teach me about blah? Can you blah blah blah? Do you know what this is? You know what? The majority of that information is on the internet. You can find it. I will have links below to where you can find things. But what I don't enjoy the most is when people, they use the time where we're celebrating as a community to, rather than genuinely connect with our community, they have this expectation that it is us who must educate you. So do your own research. We are not your historian, we are not your teacher, especially during NAIDOC Week. This is the time to come and celebrate with us. This is the time to come and hang out, come and do an event, come and just be there, come and connect with our community. But it is not the time where you have high expectations of us to provide something for you. This week I'm going to be releasing another video which is all about some stuff that you can do during NAIDOC, some ways you can celebrate, some things I would thoroughly recommend everybody do during NAIDOC. But first and foremost, check out your local events, have a look around about what you can do, how you can connect, check online, there's a bunch of things happening. Google NAIDOC events near me and you will find something. That is of course for Australian people. For internationals, unlikely you're going to find a NAIDOC event near you. There are plenty online that you can have a look at, and I am also going to link to a bunch of really interesting things that are happening, a bunch of playlists so you can listen to our music and get connected this NAIDOC week. You've already taken some of the first step by connecting with me and my channel during NAIDOC. There's still heaps more you can do. Thanks for joining me, thanks for learning a little more about us, thanks for being connected, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.